So you're looking at joining the CX and you've spoke to them and it sounds good, but is it? So just before we get into the video, I just want to point out that obviously the CX gives information based upon the data that they've got at their fingertips. And I am not by any means saying they are lying to you. The information that they have will be correct. But this is my findings. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new to the channel, then my name's Andy P. And I am a courier driver who predominantly runs on the CX. I do other stuff as well, but yeah, this is what I do for a living. If you are new to the channel, then please subscribe, and obviously if you all like the video, please press like. Costs nothing, absolutely nothing. So I just wanted to run through a little bit around CX and the pricing and what they don't tell you. Now, first of all, CX is a good tool, but it is expensive. And it's a lot more expensive now than what it used to be. So I believe it's more expensive now than when I originally signed up just under 2 years ago. And then, you know, watching other guys that's out there previously before I started, when I was doing my research, it was more expensive when I took it on to what they had to pay. So it's not a cheap tool. And the thing is, if you're about to join the CX, and it's not the best time at the moment, so this is what, May 2023, it's you've got to consider what you've got to pay out, if you can afford it, and if you can make it work for you. Now, what I really wanted to say was, when you contact the CX, when you want to become a new member, then you've got to remember you are speaking to salespeople and they want to sell you their products, and they're going to give you as much information as they can and promise you the world. And the thing is, or the truth is that some of that information that they're going to give you is incorrect. Now, it is incorrect, but it's not. And what I'm talking about is pence per mile. Now, they review, and there is a system now that you can get on and have a look at, and it tells you all the information. And I don't know the full, what they're saying you get pence per mile at the moment is, I'll be honest with you. But I do know that what they tell you is more inflated than what the actual pence per mile is. Now, the pence per mile is how obviously we price our jobs. And depending on the size of your van would depend on how much you would price your job at. So it comes up on the CX, it's a 40-mile job. You would look at charging pence per mile for that job. And that's how you'd work out your price, and that's where you put your bid in. Now, I can't stress enough, it's massively important to get yourself a price structure. You don't walk into a chippy and, you know, discuss the prices of the chips. It's a set price, and you as a driver should have your own set price in your mind of what you want to charge to do the job. Now, on the other side of that, it is a bidding platform, so you are bidding against other people, and there are going to be people out there that's more expensive than you, and there's going to be people out there that's a lot cheaper than you. And depending on the shipper and what they want from a driver will depend upon if you are selected to do that job. Now, at the moment, especially the bigger shippers, there's a general feeling that they just want it done really, really cheap. That's the general feeling in the industry at the moment. But if you as a driver start doing it too cheap, then you're just going to be in a situation you don't make your money. So you've got to stick to your own pricing structure. Now, bloody hell, he's going a bit quick. On the basis of that, you will bid accordingly. So, for example, if it's first thing in the morning, you want to get out and you want to get going, you may go a little bit cheaper, but do not undercut yourself too much. If it's last thing at night, you know, it's 5 o'clock at night, you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and a job comes up and there's 12 other drivers around you, then yeah, go a bit cheaper, get home, get your fuel money. That's one thing that we always say to you. But the pence per mile, the CX or the CX agents that want to sell you the product are going to tell you how much the average size van for whatever van you want to drive will take or is taking based upon the information they've got from the previous month. And that number will be inflated. They will tell you that, I mean, again, I don't know the true figures, but for a long wheelbase, for example, they may say to you, the average price on a van at the moment is £1.60 a mile. And you go, oh, that's quite good, that. And you work it out. Right, if I do these jobs at this price, then that'll give you that much. I do 3 jobs a day, and that'll give me X amount for the day, times that by 5 for the week, and that's what you can earn for the week. That's what you'll probably go and do. However, it is a bidding platform. Sorry, big floaty thing in front of me. So you're not forced to get the jobs. Secondly, you might be in an area where there's not a lot of jobs knocking about anywhere, so you've got to drive to get jobs. And the third one is obviously you might be undercut, or you might not be chose, so you're not guaranteed anything. I've been doing this for going on 2 years now, and even 2 days ago I couldn't get out. I was sat there all day bidding, well, all morning bidding, and eventually I just ended up just not working for that one particular day. That can happen, which goes back to what we always say, is when you have a good day, make sure you make it a good day, because you've got to count for your days which you just don't get anything. Pence per mile. The CX are going to tell you, like I said, 160. That is incorrect. No, it's not. It's correct, because that's from the data that they've got. But the reason why is purely because there's a lot of small jobs. And I don't mean small van jobs, I mean small jobs on the CX. So it might be from one side of Manchester to the other, for example, or it might be Preston to Bolton. Very, very small jobs. Now, the thing is with these small jobs, if you put on a pence per mile based upon whatever price you want to charge, you're not going to make any money. Because the time it takes you to get to the job, the time it takes you to get loaded, the time it takes you to drive to the job, especially if you get traffic, the time you get unloaded, you know, something that should be half an hour run could end up being 2 hours. And it has happened to me, where jobs take a lot longer, depending on where they are as well. You know, some places are a little bit more rural. You might see a job for Manchester, but it's actually just out the sticks of Manchester, and it's not town centre or anything. It's difficult to get to. It can take you a lot longer. So if you do that, it's not going to work. So most of us drivers will have a minimum charge, which we charge for a job. But what that does, if you do that, it inflates your pence per mile. But you're still getting money, the right kind of money for the job. So for example, if I do a minimum charge job, say for example, it's Manchester to Manchester, and it's one side of Manchester to the other one, it's a long wheelbase job, I will probably charge around £50 for that job. Now, because it's only 10 miles, you're going to end up in a situation where your pence per mile is a lot bigger. And the one example that I pulled out of my book, and I don't actually know where it is now, I was looking back. I did one job once, and it was only just over a mile for this job, and my pence per mile was 30 quid because of how much I put on it. I think I had £60 on it. It was no, I can't have that. Yeah, well, about 1.5. I think I had 50 quid on it, and it was about 1.5 mile, and the pence per mile worked out at about £30. So it inflates that figure, and it's not inflating it by a small amount, it's inflated it by what, 29 quid, you know? So just bear that in mind. If you're looking at joining the CX, listen to what the guys are saying to you, and do your research. Don't just listen to me, listen to the other boys as well. The pence per mile is it's always one of those. No one really discusses the prices that charge because everyone's got their own little strategies. But whatever the CX is telling you will be correct, but it's not true in regards to how it works on a day-to-day basis. Hope that helps. Just wanted to cover it really. If you like the video, please like, and if you're new, please subscribe. Speak to you soon.